What's up, Deuterinos? Welcome back to the Game Addicts Podcast, a show where we talk about the modern and retro video games that we play and collect. I am this Player One podcast, Player One Brando. This is this podcast, Player Two Mike.
Hello.
How's it going, sir?
You're very intense today.
I had to wake myself up because we've been sitting here, sharing, typing, doing stuff. I got the chat here instead of here. That way I can see stuff more.
Yeah.
So if anybody wants to join and chat along with us, please do so. If we see it, we will respond. If we don't, we will get to you in a bit at the end of the show for any comments that we miss. We are live on Twitch at twitch.tv/GameAddictsPlay. And, of course, this podcast goes out to podcast services around the world and YouTube every single Thursday morning.
Yeah.
Man, we are on episode 97 of the podcast.
Yeah.
Inching closer to 100. And somebody asked me, Brando, what are you guys going to do for 100? And I said, we're going to do a show. They're like, what about? Anything special? I'm like, I don't know.
As many of these if we have done, I don't even know what we could do that would be super special.
Well, we haven't done a retrospective in a long time. And that was usually something that we did those. I mean, we did them on accident at first, where an episode that wasn't even planned to be a retrospective.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Halfway turned into one where we just geeked out about the PSP. And it wasn't even called, like, retrospectively, we didn't even call it a retrospective. Like,
Right.
it was just called PSP Go. Or Game Addicts Portable is what it was called.
Yeah.
My bad.
Yeah.
Game Addicts Portable. And after that, we did the PlayStation, Super Nintendo, Final Fantasy, Legend of Zelda, the regular Nintendo, GameCube, Nintendo 64, Game Boy, and Super Mario. We even did Super Mario.
We did a Vita one, right?
We didn't do a Vita one per se.
Right, it wasn't
We did a, hey, you guys need to buy this now because Vita's dead. And
It's dead.
I actually covered that on our brand new show that we launched just this past week very quietly. I didn't announce it. I didn't say we're doing this. I did it very quietly, and it was sort of like something I thought of last Thursday or Friday.
Yeah.
And I said, I kind of want to start doing this. Guys, we launched a new show, and it's called Game Addicts Plus. And what this show is, it's basically another live stream, but it's exclusive to Facebook Live. So go over to our Facebook, Game Addicts Play, facebook.com/GameAddictsPlay. Follow us, like us there, and you're going to get basically, it's in the name, an addendum to the podcast, an added thing where it's going to be, I haven't decided a length. I think I did about a half hour.
Right.
It was just me.
Yeah,
I didn't even.
working.
I didn't even ask for you. I said, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
It might be both of us. It might be us on Skype.
You never know.
We don't know exactly. I'm just going to let this show kind of form and become its own little thing because I want it to be shorter, but the main thing is I want it to be interactive with our fans, with our listeners on Facebook. If you are listening to us and you want to try and I did this at around noon on Sunday. Basically, there's no guarantee it's going to be every week, but if I am going to be streaming gaming content on Sunday,
Right.
I'm doing a show.
Right.
I'm doing a preamble. I'm doing a Game Addicts Plus first. And that's whether or not if I find some news stories that came out after we did the podcast, that came out Thursday or Friday.
Yep.
Or if there's just something to add in, or we're doing this, or we got some news, or what's going on with you guys. That's the kind of show that this is going to be, a little bit more laid back, less structure. Like the first episode, I talked about some new stuff, and I kind of filled you guys into what we're going to be doing. Of course, we announced last week we're going to be doing the Extra Life gaming stream on November 3rd to help raise money for for sick kids. And so I talked about that. I even played the Jeopardy video
Yeah.
about gaming, and that was hilarious. So it was just me hanging out, and I had a few people tune in. Nobody really commented, but that's the thing. Go in there, come in there, talk to me, talk to us. That it's not like you can't during this show if we're on Twitch, but especially if we start getting comment after comment, sometimes it throws you off your little game. It's like we're talking and we're having a good flow of conversation, and then we get chat. I want to interact with people on the chat, but if we start getting too much, it may end up throwing us off. But Game Addicts Plus, lay back, talk. What's up, guys? What's up? It's okay. So what's been up with you, man?
Well, work.
Well, okay. You just built your wife's PC.
Yep.
And now you're planning on building another. But it's a different monster entirely.
Yeah, I'm still pushing back the big boy because money-wise. But this one, essentially, it's the fact of I don't want to keep passing back and forth the laptop.
Mm-hmm.
So I have kind of budgeted a streaming PC. It's nothing special. To most people, it'd be a pretty good gaming PC, but for what we need it to be, I'm hoping that it kind of turns into ours here, so you don't have to carry this around everywhere. Mm-hmm. It's just a little i5 PC for streaming, nothing super fancy.
But still, it is significant. The thing is that when we started the show, and we racked our brains what to name this show for days and almost a week. Every single good idea we had, it was taken.
It was taken.
Right.
Every time.
So when we settled on the Game Addicts, it was multidimensional.
Yeah.
It was we're addicted to playing games, but also we were addicted to collecting games. We were addicted to the hunt.
Yeah.
I was pretty bad for a good couple of years. I have now weaned off. I've gone to Game Addicts Anonymous. I've GAA. I'm now I'm now kind of away from the collecting bug. I still go from time to time, and there's still some things that I want from a collector standpoint to complete a few things.
Right.
Especially for GameCube, especially for Wii U. There's like right now, if I had the money just to blow, I would go buy some Wii U games right now because they're starting to get cheaper. People are like, switch, take all my Wii U stuff. And it's not that it's super cheap, but it's cheaper. It's like $12 to $20 for a lot of games. And I'm talking games like Hyrule Warriors. I'm talking games like Smash Brothers are that cheap.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Those games always hold their value.
And they're going to go back up, especially when, in like 5 years, when everybody forgets about the Wii U and people go, that system wasn't so bad, really. I mean, it's kind of like a Fisher-Price Switch, but
yeah, pretty much.
Like it has some good games, and then people are gonna just go out and seek them. Since there's only like 12 million consoles out there, and then you take those number of consoles, and then like it's like the Dreamcast kind of all over again.
Yeah.
As far as like how many games are out there, but I haven't been biting on anything. Every time I go to our local store, I walk around with the same 2 movies, and then I put them back. And I mean, these 2 movies don't add up to even $10, but I still put it back.
We go in there and look at the pops. I look just to look at like what Super Nintendo games they have in. By the way, Tim did buy that game.
Which game?
House of the Dead.
Did he actually buy Saturn?
He bought it.
The House of the Dead 1 and 2 for the Saturn?
Yep.
That had been there for
$75.
Well, it was normally like 100. It was originally 110.
Yeah.
So
he said he didn't even try. He just went in there and said, "Yep, I want it." Because he was talking about it to us for a while, and I was like,
"Hold on." So he was going to go in there and try and haggle.
Yeah. Well, he was kind of like wanting to see what it was if the price had went down. And I was like, they do that the second they ring it up, it shows the price. So.
Right. Even if the price tag hasn't changed or has changed, if it has changed and gone lower, they're going to give it to you for the lower price.
Yeah. I told him, I was like, you can go in there and haggle all you want. It's not like because he went to N and B, and he was like, yeah, you kind of haggle that guy a little bit. I was like, yeah, but this is a chain. You're not.
It's different.
You get what it is.
Yeah. No, they don't haggle. They have a system.
Yep.
And. You go in there and it's like, can I get this for a little? Sorry, that's what it is.
Yep.
It is,
They don't have any control over that.
No, they have zero control.
But he said he went in there and got it. I don't know if he didn't tell me if he booted it up or not, but he was just like, yeah, I had to go in there and get it. He's been having the itch to buy something.
Well, he's been, he's a bigger Saturn collector. I would love to try and get into Saturn and play some Saturn, but I'm not even in the mode of wanting to go out and buy the system and then wait
Yeah.
to buy the games. He said that he's been collecting that for a couple of years and he's only got 40 games.
Yeah.
You know, and
he pretty much picks them up. If he sees them, he doesn't have it, he picks it up.
right. And then I'm not like that. I'm a guy that, man, I'm gonna have a hard time shelling out any money for something that isn't a decent game.
Right.
I don't like to buy crap games too often. I have some for the PS1, but that's nostalgia.
Yeah.
And I do have a couple for the N64 that I just happen to end up with in bundle deals. Like Dual Warriors or whatever that game is. That's freaking awful. Maybe one day we will make a day where each of us picks a couple of games that we know are atrocious.
Superman. Super Nintendo.
Superman 64.
Super 64.
Superman 64.
I tell you what, Batman GameCube.
Batman. Oh, Dark Tomorrow. That one.
Mic drop.
That
Boom.
one that I have.
It's
oh man,
so
yes,
bad.
yes, that one's getting played.
That is a mic drop right there.
But Dual Warriors is really awful. There's a few others that I have that are really bad, and it would be entertaining.
I don't think I
those.
have too many bad games.
When you go back to the N64 and the PlayStation era, and you're getting into the dawn of the 3D gaming.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
A lot of stuff is just bad. They haven't.
Mm-hmm.
Just think about your control of the camera. Like, there's only really one or a couple of games that got 3D gaming right, and the pinnacle of it all is Super Mario 64.
Yeah. See, for me, when those 3D games started, I was not fond of the camera at all.
Right, because you couldn't control it.
I couldn't control it to a degree. Now that I've gotten older, like I played on the 3DS, yeah, it's not bad.
But in terms of actual control, getting like the space and the movement.
Yep.
Mario 64 had that down more than anybody. And I've played quite a few of them, and it is just amazing. Like, there's a few of them that are good. I personally do like Jersey Devil. Spyro, you can't play it. I don't like it that much. I'll be honest with you. I'm not a huge Spyro fan.
I can't play Darksiders either.
Wait, are you talking like on the 360 Darksiders?
Okay, so I bought that game, super excited because it's basically like a Dark Zelda, and I was like, "Yes, this is gonna be awesome." Really tight quarters, no control over the camera, and every time you like kind of like dodge into a corner, it pops the camera up. Mm-hmm. That's what gets me. I don't mind that if they were to move the camera, it would shrink. That wouldn't bother me. But what bothers me is whenever it's like Spyro. You're flying through, and there's one where you have to weave in and out of those they're big cylinders, basically mountains, and you're going through and you're weaving. Well, as you weave through, you want to get the fastest time you can. Well, you're really close. Well, right when you get close, it pops that camera up on top, and I'm like, ooh. And then you go to the next one. On the other side, I'm like, ooh. And then as it keeps going, ooh. About an hour and a half into it, I'm like, okay, I gotta put it down. But Metroid Corruption. Metroid Prime 3.
Yeah.
So you had to do the Wii mode.
Yes.
And I sat there, and at first I had trouble. I puked twice.
Oh,
legitimately,
dude,
I puked twice.
You love that fucking series, and I could just see you going,
nope. It's happening. And I literally got to the point where I was good enough. Now I played through Prime because I have the 3-pack.
The trilogy for the Wii, yeah.
So I don't have a choice. I have to use the mode. So I've got to the point where I've got it to where I'm pretty stable and actually pretty good at it. Man, back then, a lot of times that screen would just start spinning. I'm like, I can't get it to stop. Because I didn't have the Wiimote Plus. I had the old one.
Oh, the original.
So what I was trying to do is I was trying to play like this. I was arms up, out in front of you, trying to play straight ahead. Well, I couldn't keep my hand completely steady. Well, as I'm moving around, the screen's moving in like circles, like figure eights and shit. I'm like, God damn it. And then I move my thing down, and it's like, I go into a dead spin. I'm like, I gotta stop. But I finally got to where I was like, yeah, why don't I just put my arm on my leg and hold it like that and just move it around a little bit? and it worked.
You know what? Okay. Throwing this out here. This is what we're doing. I'm a guy 24. We are doing great. He says, "Hey guys, hi guys, how are you doing? Thank you for coming back, dude. Thank you for coming back, checking us out." And dude, you commented on my Metal Gear stream, and you said my mic was off, and you like freaked me out because I'm like, I have been streaming for a half hour, and my mic is off, and I don't know it wasn't, but I was like, oh. Whew. I was like watching all these cutscenes and doing all this stuff, and I'm sitting here, commenting and like what I'm doing and all that stuff. I'm a guy who says you're most welcome, dude. Thank you for checking us out once again. But dude, yeah, it freaked me out for a quick second. But I have this idea. Okay, so episode 100 is coming up.
Yeah,
and we were like we don't really know what to do, what to cover.
There's something special, and we're both kind of just like, there's nothing.
Well, there is stuff that we can do.
Well, there's a couple things.
There are retrospectives on systems we haven't done yet.
Yes.
And so you feel free to shoot this down. Okay?
I should shut it down. Go ahead.
Anyway. So feel free to shoot this down. But, you were just talking about the Wii.
Yeah.
What if we did a Wii/Wii U kind of in-depth? These are the games that are good to get. Because the Wii is such a flooded library.
I was gonna say the Wii could be like its own thing.
The reason is that my collection of, I almost kind of consider Wii and Wii U the same, or like the Wii U to be like an extension of the Wii collection, if that makes any sort of sense, because I use the same system for both.
Well, for us, yes, but and this is something that we both know. Mm-hmm. Nintendo did a terrible job at marketing this system.
Oh, for the Wii U.
Because it basically was the Wii U. Well everybody thought it was just an expansion where you bought the gamepad. Is that just
a tablet for the Wii?
Yeah.
No.
So they ruined it.
But that's why I kind of wanted to include that, because for the Wii, I feel like it could be an episode by itself. The Wii U, you'd be pushing it. We almost kind of did that.
Yeah.
We almost sort of did the Wii U retrospective on episode 2.
Right.
This is going back. This is going old school. Retrospective on ourselves.
Retrospective of a retrospective.
Let's do a retrospective on ourselves.
Okay, go.
On episode 100 and just air reruns.
Okay.
No.
No,
I'm
we're not doing that.
Okay. So on episode 2, it was called We Love the Wii U, where we were like, you know what? There's so much hate for this thing, but it really has some really cool games, and it has some really cool third-party games, too.
Yeah.
Like, people just kind of forget that they were actually, like, there for a minute, they were, like, trying to, like, put some stuff out there. Yeah, like, you had Call of Duties for it. You had Need for Speeds for it. You know, like, they came out. Mass Effect 3 was out for it. The Arkham series, you had City and Origins for it.
Yep.
You know, you had games for it. Assassin's Creed 3 and 4 went out for it.
Yes.
So, there are, like, I would love to do an episode where we talk about the Wii, history of it, its launch, because it's one of the biggest selling systems of all time.
I believe it second, right?
I said one of.
Yeah, well, I mean,
okay.
I'm just
okay, you ain't got to get salty on me, Mr. PS2. You didn't even have one.
I know.
Mr. Dead to Rights.
Hey. Watch yourself.
If we had T-shirts, that would be immortalized on a T-shirt.
Yes.
We're going to put your face.
It has to be. I have to be Dead to Rights, though. You get what I mean? Like, Dead to Rights.
Well, like, I want to put your face on like the cover box or box art for Dead to Rights, and it's you, and it's like Dead to Mike, Mike's Dead to Rights or whatever.
But then it has the wrong system.
But it has the wrong look. It's that box art, but it's the because you thought it was on PS1 for whatever reason when we were doing the PS1 retrospective.
That stuff, man. When that part of gaming in my life, I had so many different systems spread out. I was still playing the PS1 for a long time.
And well, the funny thing is that I think you told me you played it on the Cube.
Yeah,
like you didn't even play it on the PS2 because it came out for all three.
Yeah,
but
the Cube is what I had until I got an Xbox later on.
You're right.
And that was my late.
But that was a running joke for a long time. Was what system is it on again, Mike? Shut up. And because you thought it was on the PS1, and so we're gonna get a PS1 like style of like like the old CD jewel case PlayStation Dead to Rights. That would be a T-shirt.
That would be a T-shirt.
Maybe one day we'll actually start getting some T-shirts made up. Because I have another idea. Because like when we got back into it together, And then I started I started doing the tagline at the beginning of the episode, "What's up, Deuterino?" Because that's what I call my kid.
Right.
You know, he goes, "Hi, Daddy." I go, "What's up, Deuterino?" And then I just started doing it for the intro of the podcast. I want it to be the Doritos logo, but it says Deuterinos. You know?
Yeah.
Anyway, so we just watched right before the show. We just watched the Red Dead Redemption 2 gameplay trailer 2.
Yes.
And that got released a few days ago. I remember sitting there at lunch watching it.
Yeah.
With Blaine sort of looking.
What's it?
Since this is not something that was on your radar, gut reaction, what did you think of that?
I think it looked freaking fantastic. To be honest with you, I mean, there's nothing really out there that even looks remotely as good as that.
Well, it's 105 gigabytes.
I hope so. The damn game ought to play itself. No, but
yeah, right.
It looks amazing.
No TV show included, and it's still that big.
Right. I like the dynamic of the main character. You can mold him the way you want him to be molded. You can interact with people. Your actions have consequences, and the fluid cinematic into real time.
And he's not a custom shell where he's
Right.
just you made this character, you name him whatever you want. He has a character. He has a background.
Right.
You know, kind of like a Shepard in a way. But even with Shepard, you get to form his background with a few things and change. You know, what is his class and or her class or whatever. You get to do that with Shepard. With this one, with Arthur, you can really take him from the beginning. Like I said, Marston, the guy from the first game or from Red Dead Redemption.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can play it good or bad. You can be an outlaw if you want and just become notorious for kind of just killing people like that you're against. But at his root, he's still a good guy. You can't corrupt that. You can't go sleep with prostitutes. He will.
This one looks like it can.
Well, maybe they didn't show it, but maybe. Marston, he would always turn him down and say, "I'm a married man." You know, he had a family. Arthur is he's a different guy. He's a different spot in his life, it seems.
Yeah.
And you can make him like a really good guy that's running with a gang of thieves, you know? Or you can make him just be a frickin' asshole.
And did you notice you could do bounties? So you could actually go full-blown, bounty hunter.
Well, and that's something they brought forward from the first game, or from I keep saying the first game. The first game is actually Red Dead Revolver.
Right.
But Redemption 1 did have the bounty system where you could go and to each town and at the sheriff's office, they would be posted near the train station.
I say train station.
And you could grab one, and you would get paid so much if they would come back, if you would kill them, and you would get paid more if you would tie them up, put them on the back of your horse, and ride them back into town.
Right.
A lot of times, it wasn't just one guy. You had to get one guy, but a lot of times they had a whole gang with them, a whole posse.
Right.
You had to take them out and then leave that one last guy alive, and then you had to take him alive. So, that was a really good way to make money. I like that they brought that back in. I also really dig the expand, Rockstar has taken from the newest Grand Theft Auto the whole ability, you can eat, you can change your style of clothing, you can do all this kind of stuff, and things in GTA that are kind of immersive, you know. And they brought that forward. I like how his facial hair will grow out.
Yeah.
If you don't shave it, I like that a lot.
I like how people will comment on how bad you smell if you don't bathe. If you don't bathe.
That's kind of cool.
That's cool.
They're almost making it like a RPG. They're putting aspects of that into it because when you played Grand Theft Auto 5, there was RPG aspects.
Right.
Especially when you would for all three characters had different stats for driving and shooting and different thing and flying. And you could actually improve all of those. If you would grind it and you go out driving and try to become a good driver, you could really grind that skill level.
So what was Trevor's skills?
Trevor was a maniac.
I was going to say, he had no skills other than he just didn't give a fuck.
I know Franklin, his little skill power is that he could kind of slow down time while he was driving.
Right.
And so he could be a good driver. I ended up having Michael take flying lessons and do that, and I
Yeah.
became a good flyer with him. And then Trevor was he was my rampage dude.
He's crazy.
Complete crazy.
I loved switching to him just to see what he was doing. Like you go and let's just be honest here. I hardly played the story, but I did just roam around and have a good time because to me that's what Grand Theft Auto is for me. And I would play for about 25 minutes and then I go, I wonder what Trevor's doing. Click, running butt naked down the road, and you don't have to
waking
control
up
him.
or waking up on a railroad track.
Yeah.
Completely in his underwear.
Yeah, he would just. But I like the fact that you could wait a little bit, and he would still be doing whatever it is until you actually like made a command, and he was just like running down the road. Just, what are you doing? Or waking up in the bathroom of a strip club.
That I remember one time he woke up on the side of a bridge,
Yep.
like on like the railing of the bridge, and wearing like women's lingerie.
God, they did such a good job with that.
Well, what they really got to do with Grand Theft Auto 5, with the 3-character dynamic, is that they were able to make a character like Trevor playable.
Right.
Where he is because if he was the only main character of the game, that game would have been like, as far as like the level-headed people of the world are thinking, this is what this game is.
This is dumb. I don't want to play it.
Well, not only that, but it would be ridiculed for like, promoting just complete craziness.
Yep.
Like everything that they said Grand Theft Auto 3 was, when you could get with hookers and then kill them and get your money back.
Yeah.
And literally, your character would sit here like this. She would sit over there like that, and the car would just rock. And then your health meter would fill back up. And then she would just slam the door and leave.
Mm-hmm.
Even though there's no visual anything. It's just the rocking back and forth. The implication of fornication. Wow, look at that.
Hey, look at you go.
Look at that. That's some host words right there.
That is.
I remember that being on Oprah.
Yeah, they made a big deal about
Oh,
that.
man, they were like, but then if you have it be Trevor be the main character and he's a complete psychopath,
Yeah, they blow up.
they would blow up. And now they put in the other 2 characters, your Franklin and your Michael, to keep it kind of level. It's like, well, Franklin is almost like a callback to like CJ in a way.
Right.
From the from the streets of Los Santos. He's that guy. Michael is almost in a way a callback to Tommy Vercetti from Vice City, kind of like that gangster, or he was involved with some like these guys, and thick as thieves. But so you had like all this character dynamic between the 3. I love how we're going back to a single character with Red Dead 2, and you really get to mold him.
Yeah.
And make your decisions with him.
One of the biggest things I like is that they added heists into the game.
Just like they've been doing that for a while.
I like
in 5.
In 5, I really like that aspect. Now, what I'm hoping for in Red Dead Redemption Online is that same type.
You can team up with posses and go.
Team up with posses and go.
What's up, dog meat? What's up, dog meat's mom?
Bye, dog meat's mom.
All right, so in this game, you can switch to first-person view.
It didn't look that so. It didn't look as good as I was hoping, but also it was very brief.
Yes. Now there is something that I can say that you can do. Now, if you saw when you're riding on the horse, they had the little jostle.
Yeah.
You can turn that off.
Yeah.
So it'll be steady. Like that way you can aim and you're not sitting there going, ooh. That way, if you,
yeah, that would be me.
that way, if you get motion sickness, you can turn that little like jostle off. I just threw up my mouth a little bit.
Easy, killer.
And it was like a burp that
Do I
turned
need
into a blurp.
Do I need to get the Oreos?
No.
No.
Because that's what came up, man. All right. I like that you can do it. You know me. That's not my first go-to.
No.
I like to see my character. When I play games, I like to like get lost in it like in a TV show or movie.
Right.
For me, becoming the character, I am this guy, has never been the way that I played games. That's just not me. I want to see a character. I want to influence the character.
Right.
I want to help guide him along. I want to make those decisions. I want that choose your own adventure type thing. but I don't want to sit there and see it completely through his eyes, or in most first-person playing games, his chest.
Yeah.
Because, that's where your eyes are. Like, have you ever seen that cartoon where it's like real life, holding a gun, and then first-person shooters, the eyes or faces like down here on his man.
Yeah,
boobs.
they're like right here.
It's so weird to me, and I think I've gotten better at it over time. I can play those games now without curling my nose up,
Right.
but they're still not my. I will probably switch back and forth just to see, especially if I'm inside, especially if it's something I want to pay close attention to. I did see that when you go shopping in general stores, it will go to first-person view, and you'll be able to select.
Well,
stuff.
I mean, yeah, and that's to most people that's just a normal select menu.
But I like how
be immersive for.
Yeah, I like how you can have the first-person view with a game that looks this good,
God, it
and
looks
you can
good.
just get lost in the immersion. You can choose to play the game that way, and I think that's a really good move on their part.
I like so a lot of people are with gunplay. A lot of people are accustomed to that eyeballs on the chest. I know I am. I'm sorry. It's just to me it's natural because I played a lot of Call of Duty, a lot of first-person shooters back in the day.
Yeah.
So the third person doesn't bother me, but I like the fact that it will be.
Sorry, you gotta stretch my legs.
It'll be hard for me to go to first person if I was to purchase this game because there's so much that happens to your character for the little things, like you throw a deer or a turkey over your shoulder, well, the blood drips onto your shirt, and you can see it slowly stain down the shirt. That stuff is so cool and unique. I don't want to take it away from the game.
Right. Yeah,
And
from
that-
experience.
For me, that experience, I mean, yeah, after you kill like a couple turkeys, it'll be like, okay, cool. But every time you kill a new creature, you're going to be like, well, how's this going to look?
Well, then it's also like that one trailer we saw where he goes into the mud and it's all over his clothes, and he's all like wet and he's dirty. And you're right. I want to see that as well.
It's just something you don't want to take away from the game. But going back to the trailer, I love the new camera angles that you can do.
You can do like really cool cinematics.
They did a really cool one with the mountains. So they had the fog and the clouds. They had the mountains, and they had you riding on a trail, and the camera was following you like a drone. And it was literally just videotaping you like a movie. I was like, that looks cool. Man, I could see some awesome shots. And then it has one of him climbing the mountain, and he's at the top of the mountain, like a little campfire area, and he's standing there, and you're like almost at cloud level, and he's looking down over the valley, and like you can change the angle of the. That's cool to me. That's what I would have more fun with, is just going around and be like, oh, this looks cool. How can I capture that? Than playing the game. I've always thought that the Deadeye system breaks the game for me, because what are you going to do? First thing you go into a fight, first thing I'm going to do, ka-chink, done. Like you can pretty much smoke everybody instantly.
Well, and the thing is that in the first game, they would give you enough enemies that you could probably take out, but then there would be more, and you would actually have to do the gunplay.
Yeah.
So, like, you can use it, but it's not infinite.
Right.
And it doesn't refill. Like, you actually have to do stuff to refill it. You have to.
Yeah.
In the first game, I think it was like drink whiskey. So
Yeah.
and then you had little, you had harder whiskey that you could drink, like moonshine, that would give you like infinite stuff for a while.
Right.
So,
But for me, that just
well, to me, it's like VATS.
see, I never use VATS.
I feel like it's a great option for people to be able to use it, and it's also a quirk.
Yeah.
Like if you're not as good at it, definitely take advantage of it. And I think it's a nice thing to play around with, especially when you can start because they said, oh, it's going to progress over time, and that's what it does in the first game.
Yeah,
as well.
where it showed the critical spots and stuff like that, which you kind of already know.
See, in the first game, you could just slow down time and you had to manually aim it, and then you unlock the ability. You could aim, hit a button, mark it. Hit a button, mark it. Hit a button, mark it. Do-do-do-do-doom.
Yeah.
The best Deadeye of Red Dead Redemption 1 was at the end of the game.
I knew you were going to say it.
The end of the game.
Where he just...
Where he's standing in front of 20 dudes. And they're all sitting there with their guns. And he's there holding them off so that way his wife and kid can escape. taking his gun out. They're raising theirs. And you're looking for that son of a bitch who fucking double-crossed you. And he's behind them. You can't get him. But you're just like, you. And he took out guys, but obviously it wasn't enough.
Right.
That is such a... And then, like, he's sitting there like Peter Weller in RoboCop. In that scene when he was, like, full of, like, holes and falls over dead. And then they just walk away. And then you have to play as the kid riding back on the horse with the mom.
And then the kid.
And then you play as the kid 5 years later when he's burying his mom next to his dad.
And he takes him out.
And then he goes and takes out the motherfucker who double crossed you. Yeah, it's a great
it's like that sense of satisfaction.
That twist in that story almost got spoiled for me because I walked in and saw Rob playing as somebody else and went, "That's not him." He goes, "Yeah, you might want to go." and he was just wandering around doing stuff, you know.
At least he was nice enough to say, "Hey, you should stop."
Well, and yeah. So once I found out, I was like, "Oh," and then I'm like, "Now what?" And then you go hunt down the dude that was that old guy's retirement from the government agency, you know, that pretty much early FBI or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, like U.S. Marshal or whatever, like whatever they were back then. And that was his big retirement.
Texas Rangers,
Power Rangers.
I'm sure it was the Marshals,
but like, yeah, he's off on a hunting trip down in Mexico. You go to his house, talk to his wife. She's like, he's down there hunting with his buddy down there in Mexico. You go down there, you find his buddy. He goes, yeah, he's over there down there by the river. You walk up there, and he's in there, and he's shooting ducks or birds or whatever, duck maybe. And he sees your character, the son, doesn't recognize him.
right?
Because obviously his hair's growing out. He's got facial hair now. He's a young man. And as soon as he's like, "You remember John Marston?" He goes, "You're the boy, aren't you? I get it. You know, come back, try and square up with me with what I did your old man. Ain't gonna happen. You know." And then you have one last little duel, and with the red eye or with the dead eye, and you just shoot that motherfucker right there in a river. And then he turns to walk away, and then and it goes into like the art style, you know, of like the box art.
Yeah.
And it does like that old West style of like, or the old West style movies where like it starts playing the credits and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is what made that game awesome. Like, the story was good by itself. It was good. You know, okay, the old thing, you getting your family back, that is what made it amazing. They'd taken it to that next level.
They do a good job.
And I love the fact that Marston and his family are in this and it's before.
Yeah.
Because then you get that background story.
Yep. It'll be an interesting. I like the way it said you can pretty much do whatever you want.
Mm-hmm. Well, and like you could to an extent, the first one, but to an extent. It was an early sort of, it was a pre-GTA 5 open world. And it looked amazing for the time, 8 years ago. This looks like 105 gigabytes worth of memory.
Yes, it does.
So I'm super excited for the game. I will be streaming it day one, October 26th, right here on the Twitch channel.
I have 4 days before my baby comes out. Well, till my Break It Early test comes out. My beta.
4 days from
October 30th.
Well,
that's whenever
yes.
And that's
from then. I thought you were saying from today. I'm like, sir, you are mistaken.
No. That's why I said I will be waiting my 4 days for that.
And so I will be streaming that day one. Unfortunately, we have to work the next day, so I can't stay up too late playing it. But I'm gonna strike a deal and say I want some time to stream this and get my first reactions from it. I will be streaming it. I'm not gonna stream probably the whole game on our. I don't want to do that with brand new games.
Yeah, we don't want you guys to see the spoilers and stuff.
It's not even so much about that. I want to be able to sit back and enjoy it for myself.
Yes.
Instead of trying to talk and say this and say that. That's difficult for me, and I found that to be very, very difficult for Spider-Man. Oh, I like this. Oh, this is neat. I'm vocalizing my thoughts, but I'm still learning how to do that to to an extent. As I'm about ready to unplug my microphone
And kick me.
Yeah, I ain't kicking you. I had an itch on my ankle.
That's all right.
Sorry.
See, that's what it's going to be easy for me with Fallout 76
Mhm.
because my wife is as excited to watch it or play it as I am.
Right.
So that'll be cool. Plus, which gives us a unique opportunity to go old school
Mm-hmm.
to where we're sitting next to each other, but we have different TVs during our live
Right,
stream.
right. So for Extra Life, though, we were gonna plan this big long schedule of I'm gonna play this game, then he's gonna play this game, then we're gonna do this. As of right now, we are probably gonna split the time up in between Red Dead Redemption 2 and Fallout 76.
Yep.
And that's it. Like if Fallout 76 servers are not working,
Which that's the whole point of it, and they stated that they are trying to break it.
if they end up not working the whole time, which they may not be up, then we'll figure. We're gonna have a backup plan. We're gonna have some other stuff that we can
Yeah.
do. But Red Dead will be streamed. Online was not starting until later.
Right.
So I will get to play it. You'll see me playing it. You'll get to see me playing it. You'll get to try it out and play it for yourself, live on stream for everybody to see. And
Oh, Red Dead, yes.
yes, we are.
You switch. I thought you were
I'm
talking
sorry,
about
well-
76. I was like, whoa. But I got.
Yeah. So we're gonna play both of those during the Extra Life stream, and it's gonna be a fun time.
It will.
Um,
I'm excited to play Fallout 76 with you.
Mhm.
But you must keep in mind that we will have a couple of days, me and her, to
Mhm.
play. That's what we plan on doing.
Yeah.
So you already have gear, but you already know
sure.
Fallout.
Yeah.
So it's basically Fallout with no NPCs, really. Well, no human NPCs.
So, moving on, Google announced Project Stream.
Yes.
So Monday, they announced a streaming service that lets people play games straight from their Chrome browser. Following reports earlier in the year that suggested Google was considering expanding into the gaming with the streaming service that allow players to stream games as opposed to downloading them or owning a physical copy. Google's announcement of Project Stream indicates that the reports were held weight, referring to streaming media as a technically complex process. Google's announcement said that its streaming efforts will be much more demanding than just streaming videos. Well, no, duh.
Surprise.
We've been working on Project Steam, a technical test to solve some of the biggest challenges of streaming, Google's announcement said. For this test, we're going to push the limits with one of the most demanding applications for streaming, a blockbuster video game. The first game that people will be able to play through Project Stream is indeed a challenging one, with Google's announcing partnership with Ubisoft to let people stream Assassin's Creed Odyssey in their browsers. Ubisoft's upcoming game that continues the AAA series releases on October 5th and can be played on that day through Google's Chrome browsers, but only for a limited number of people who must sign up here.
Yeah.
Well, saying that the new Project Steam service is a part of Google's efforts to build technology which supports and bolsters the game's creators' efforts. The announcement also discussed some of the challenges that are associated with streaming a video game as opposed to a film or TV show. So it also says
Well,
here...
interactive dynamic. I mean, that's
Yeah.
a big deal.
Yeah, and the input and everything.
Yep.
To provide a preview of the Project Steam service in action, Google's video at the top shows the official gameplay capture from the new streaming service. The video indicates that the footage was recorded at 1080p at 60 frames per second through the Project Stream service. Video that shows the player moving seamlessly through ancient Greece in Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Google has not yet released details on how people can partake in the streaming service after the test on October 5th, but the announcement added that it's planning on taking feedback from the test. So,
I need to get a back scratcher.
yes, you do. I'm sure everybody live on stream is enjoying watching you scratch your back. We also lost daylight.
We did.
Every single time, I'm like, we're going to go over there. We're going to sit right up and go.
Never happens.
No, we keep pushing this
We'll
show
get
later
we'll
and
get
later.
this set up. I have an idea.
Well, so what do you think about this? I mean, because obviously we know that that game streaming is around the bend. We know I have theorized that the next series of consoles will probably be the last one to feature, strict home owning your physical copies, and that they're probably going to have a streaming box version of those consoles. That's my prediction.
Streambox or a
or a download box.
download
like
box.
where you don't. And honestly, with Xbox going to streaming, they're making their own streaming service. PlayStation already has theirs with PlayStation Now. They're just adding download stuff to it.
Right.
So
That's just where it's going.
And then over in Japan, Switch has a streaming service over there where they have RE7 streamable. And actually, Capcom has said they're interested in putting more titles onto that. So I guess it's proven to work pretty well. And the new Assassin's Creed scored. Let's look at Metacritic, okay? Because I know what IGN gave it, and they didn't plagiarize that one. Okay.
Sorry, IGN.
Yeah,
It's just truthful.
Hey, they didn't because
We feel sorry for you about
IGN
that.
gave it a 9.2.
That just seems so high for an Assassin's Creed game.
But they're different now, man.
Well, it doesn't matter because you look at the way that they back in the day, IGN always gave freaking Call of Duties like 9s, and they were literally the exact same game of last gen. But then you get them saying, okay, well, we put, I can't remember what game it is. They put a new game up, and they're like, well, it's more of the same, so we only gave it a 7. It's like, what about the 30-some entries of Call of Duty that's literally the same game, just from a different developer? That bothered me about IGN. But I digress. Continue. I get a little worked up over that stuff because I feel like they don't look at it as the entirety of the game and its advancement when it comes to those type of esports games.
Okay, so Assassin's Creed Odyssey average score is 87 out of 100, 8.7.
That's more acceptable to me.
Its user score is 6.2. How 63 people who have posted this have already played enough to review that game is beyond me. This Japanese dude, or Korean dude, gave it a 10. But I don't know what he said.
Yeah.
But yeah, like Generation, Xbox, Os Gamers, Press Start Australia, and Gaming Train all gave it 9s. GameSpot gave it an 80 or an 8 out of 10. I mean, the thing is that the DualShockers gave it a 90. You know, Destructoid, they gave it a 90. Xbox Achievements and IGN Spain. Man, these are really weird. The Telegraph gave it an 80. That good old Telegraph. But starting with Origins, they took a lot of time off after Syndicate to really revamp and rethink their whole franchise.
Right.
To change the core dynamic of the game while still making it familiar to those who were fans of the series.
Yeah.
So you're going to have a lot of similarities to what has come before, but now it's an open world. Now it's basically what I've said. They took Witcher 3, copy, paste, put that over there, and now you have a action RPG system where you can actually upgrade, you know, a lot of different things. So it's different. It isn't Assassin's Creed 4 or 3. It isn't those kind of games anymore. And the Origins and Odyssey, like the sheer fact that Origins came out and made people go, and then this comes out and it furthers that, is a good sign.
Yes.
Now,
It's no Ezio story though.
Be that as it may, it's a really good sign that they are starting to, you know, make advancement and not just make the same game over and over again.
Right.
I've also heard that going forward, no matter what, they are going to let you choose your gender and make your character going forward. Instead of giving you, like, Ezio, they're like, okay, what kind of character do you want to be? And even though this is in ancient Greece, they're like, well, how can you be a woman back then? They're like, it's Assassin's Creed. Get your mind out of your prejudice.
Yeah.
And how many of the world's assassins have been women?
A lot of them.
Exactly. And they're going to say, sit the F down.
You know why? Because they have the sex appeal. They can sneak in, they can get you alone, and then you're done. Plus, most people don't suspect a woman because they view them as weak and powerless, which they are not.
Exactly. Well, and exactly what I said. They are blocked by their own prejudice. You know. So I'm happy for it, even though I didn't play Origins, even though like I'm not right now in any shape, way, or form going to play either one of these anytime soon. I'm happy for it because maybe one day, when I'm like on a boring day, it's like I kind of want to play Assassin's Creed. If I do, it's going to be one of these two games because I want to go in here and see what they've done, and for myself, and
Right.
make a decision for myself. So, PS4 Pro price drop could be coming soon. Starting on Friday, October 12th, the PlayStation 4 Pro in Japan will be going from 44,980 yen to 39,980 yen. In US dollars, that's roughly going to be like $400 to $350. If this price drop doesn't kick in around the same time as Japan, we're assuming that that we may see this deal pop up around Black Friday. On the flip side, though console sales in the West have been much stronger than they are in Japan generally, this could be a strategy unique to Japan to try and move consoles. So I think we are going to see a price drop soon,
I think so too.
especially if PS5 is coming out in 2020.
Yeah.
I think we're going to see. I got auto playing video. Nope. Okay, never mind. It's not going to load because that video is not there anymore. Because the last thing on the news that we've got to talk about.
Is it what I think it is?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Rocksteady's new game.
Supposed new game because nothing is 100% concrete
No.
other than the guy with his phone videotaping a said so game of
That
a massive
suddenly-
franchise.
Yeah, and this video got blocked and has been taken down.
I actually still have access to it on my cellular phone because I copied and pasted it.
Oh, well. I never got a chance to watch the video because I was at work.
Well, then, let's let you watch
We're
it.
not going to watch it here. We can't.
Yep, that's true. That is very true because they will shut us down.
No exceptions.
No exceptions. Anyways, guys, so what this was is a quote-unquote Harry Potter open world game,
Yeah.
which, in my opinion, why are we just now getting this? Here we go.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Jeez.
Yeah, stupid people from work.
So this looks fantastic. If this is what they're pulling out, holy crap. Here's my key, though. I think the biggest selling point of this game is the fact that, you come in your 5th year, you choose your house, blah, 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 you get your customization of your character, said story. Here's the thing. In game, do you make it like a real MMORPG or RPG together like Fallout 76 is, where me and you can make a party and go through these dungeons and tear some shit up?
Well, all right.
That would be huge.
You have to think about who the developer is.
Yes.
It's Rocksteady.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The last 3 games that it made, as we're getting shared on Twitter right now, getting retweeted.
Oh.
Thank
you.
Yeah, thank you, whoever you are. Who are you? Oh,
Hey.
it's we were followed by Stream Spread, and then Combo Pod is that really cool retweet thing. If you tag at them and then tag #gaming, they'll show your stuff. So
Awesome.
Rocksteady they are single player games.
Yes.
There are no multiplayer. You can't be Robin, run around with Batman.
I know.
So I'm
Well,
thinking
in this is a different game because
different.
with Batman, I mean, you're Batman. You're playing a Batman game to be Batman. You're playing a Harry Potter game, and one of the biggest things about Harry Potter that fans want, that I have a super fan living in my house, is the fact that she could get a hold of Mish and be like, let's play together. Boom. Go do stuff.
I don't think it's going to be an online game at all.
I don't think so either, but I
think this is going to be.
wish it would be.
I think it's going to be a single player immersive game,
RPG style.
action RPG that lets the single player get lost into this world in a way that you've never been able to do in interactive media before, and that they're not going to do an online thing for this. that is a major overhaul like 76 or anything like that. I don't think this is what this
No.
is. According, now this is rumors, guys. Set in 19th century, the 1800s Wizarding World, this third-person open-world action RPG game centers around your character and unique abilities who has earned a late acceptance into Hogwarts. You are a newly arrived fifth-year student that demonstrates a latent gift for magic and a unique ability to track and identify remnants of a potent ancient power. So, upon arrival, strange events begin to materialize in the Forbidden Forest, and trouble begins to brew within the castle walls. Together with Professor Elazar Fig, you embark on a journey through both familiar and never before seen locations to bring light to the truth behind these mysterious occurrences. On your quest, you will craft potions, master new spells, and discover fantastical beasts. You will battle dark wizards, goblins, and other supernatural enemies and uncover the truth about your destiny. The fate of the Wizarding World lies in your hands. Features: journey to Hogwarts to become one of 8 wizarding types. Experience Hogwarts, make new friends, uncover new secrets, and change the fate of the Wizarding World. Experience a new magic system that creates countless possibilities to master magic. Freely explore the Wizarding World for the first time. Choose your house and friends at Hogwarts and decide to pursue a path of good or evil. Create your own witch or wizard and experience an all-new story separate from the books or films.
Which is a great way to go. Because that's something you don't really want to toy with. It's just,
No, and
you don't really want to. You
and
don't want to mess with
kind of
that.
like in the Knights of the Old Republic kind of deal. This is set far enough back, probably in the late 1800s, right?
Mm-hmm.
To where if you watch a Harry Potter movie, a lot of that stuff that's over there on that side of the realm, if you will,
Yeah.
still looks dated anyway.
Right.
So when you're going to be at Hogwarts, it's not going to look or feel any different than if you were there in 2007.
Right.
It's going to look the same.
It's going to look the same. Maybe a little more fresh and new.
Yeah, maybe.
Because
sure.
we'll see.
Okay,
We'll see.
so apparently this is another supposed addition. The as of yet to be announced RPG currently titled Harry Potter Magic Awakened. Although other titles, including Magic Forever, are also in the mix. Other Potter games are also thought to be on the way. I don't know about Magic Awakened. In a way, I'm against calling it Harry Potter anything. Because
Journey to Hogwarts.
I was
like
thinking, what's the name of the brand they use for it now? It's called Wizarding World.
Yep.
Whenever you see like the new trailer for Fantastic Beasts, it was Wizarding World. It tells you, oh, this is Harry Potter. Besides a little dun 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 dun,
Everybody knows that.
right? That classic score made by John Williams, Star Wars composer,
Yeah.
made that.
Doesn't surprise me one bit.
In fact, I'm pretty sure it was him. No.
I got it.
No, you do not. I have it. This is my. I am so sure this is John Williams. Load, you son of a bitch. Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, because he only did the first 2 movies. Because I want to say that John Williams works very closely with Chris Columbus. He's the director of Home Alone.
Yeah.
Original music by John Williams, and he's the guy that wrote the dum da da dum 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 da dum dum, and they kept that obviously for every single freaking movie.
Well, yeah, because it's
With different, I love how the movies go on, how it changes and gets darker.
yes,
And, some more somber.
which is pretty much how the books progress. I mean,
Exactly.
it's supposed
More-
to be like kiddish. You read it at a young age, and then it grows with you,
Mhm.
and that's awesome.
Yeah.
And then in the last book, Deathly Hallows, it's like carnage.
Oh, dude, it's
It's carnage.
It actually is not full carnage until the end.
Yeah.
I just listened to the whole series.
It's just
And it is a little boring, but it's also very dark and somber. But I understand calling it Harry Potter because you want it to be recognizable instantly, right?
you want it to be Harry Potter because you're riding on the coattails of Harry Potter.
Right, but then you also don't want to just have them play through the story of Harry Potter.
No.
Because you want them to be able to get lost in this world and tell a new story. That's the whole point of expanding. this universe. With the Fantastic Beasts movies, you get to see more of the lore, more of the background, more of
Right.
everything. With this, you're going back even further away from all of that. And the only thing that you need to get correct are the key parts and
Yep.
key people like Professor Fig, who is, we may or may not have really heard about, maybe just in passing.
Yeah.
And then they can almost have kind of free reign to tell what kind of story they need to tell, as long as they don't mess with the future events.
Which they're not going
No,
to.
absolutely not. They
At
have,
that far back, it's a little hard.
mm-hmm.
Maybe get a little glimpse at. Well, when did Dumbledore attend?
Oh, you know what? Because
That. Well, how old was he?
okay, so
100 and.
we're gonna find out. Dumbledore, as I cannot type. Now I can. Dumbledore. Bird name. Birthday. Oh. He was born the summer of 1881. So if it's in the 1890s,
That's it.
at age 11, young Dumbledore could be starting Hogwarts.
That's what I'm thinking.
And you
That
could
would be
come in as a
neat.
fifth year, and maybe he would be early on.
First year, second year, maybe.
Mm-hmm. And he would be in Gryffindor, and you would only really interact with him if you were in Gryffindor.
That would be cool. Huh.
Interesting.
It clicked on me. I'm like, when was he born? I want to say it was in the 1880s, but I'm not sure. My God, I was close.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see, because you're taking that key, like one of the biggest characters in that series, and now you're seeing him as a young wizard that knows nothing.
Jon Snow.
Yeah.
You know nothing, Jon
You
Snow.
know nothing, Jon Snow. He knew a lot, apparently.
Oh, he knew.
He's
knew
got
so much.
he's got her around the ring, around the finger now.
Well, guys, I don't really have that much more to talk
I
about.
don't know. Yeah.
There's really not a whole lot of news. New games coming out. Assassin's Creed comes out tomorrow, as you're hearing
Yay.
this. Blaine is getting it, so he's going to tell me all about it, I'm sure.
Yeah.
We got a few more weeks until Red Dead Redemption 2. It's going to come in the mail, and I'm going to have the wife install it
Yeah.
while I'm at work.
105.
It'll still be going by the time I get home.
Yeah, probably. Well, think about how big was Spidey?
50-something.
50
It
something.
took an hour.
It took me like an hour. Yeah, 45 minutes.
It actually took me an hour and a half because mine messed up.
Yeah, that's right.
Because I was trying to hook up to start capturing, and it was like, why isn't this going in? And then I accidentally unplugged the PlayStation.
Yeah.
When I restarted it, it wouldn't move forward anymore on the installation, so I had to restart it.
Mine, it was about 40 minutes to fully install it, but I also have, super high speed internet here.
Well, I mean, the internet had nothing to do with that other than like the update and
My update was pretty quick.
it was only 5 gigabytes. My update was done way before the install was done.
Yeah. But like I said, it took a long time. But 105 gigs.
I have actually heard a rumor that Red Dead Redemption 2 will be the first game of this generation on the PS4 and Xbox One to have a 2-disc ship.
Yeah.
One's going to be an entire install
both.
disc. Both of them are going to be install discs, but one's going to be just for the install, and the other one's going to be your key.
Yep.
To be able to your verification key to boot it up. So.
How big are Blu-ray discs? 60?
50.
I want to say they're floating around the 50, 60 area.
Yeah.
So, they had to be, because Spider-Man was like 54, excluding the update. So,
I thought it was just 50, including the update.
let's find out.
But
As
yeah,
our-
because
as our last.
dual layer Blu-ray discs are about 50 gigabytes. The HD Blu-rays, the 4K Blu-rays,
Yeah.
I think those go up to 100. But they're probably not going to ship Red Dead with that. It's probably cheaper to do 2 discs of the regular Blu-ray than it is to do 1 HD Blu-ray.
Right.
And even that, guess what? Can't play HD Blu-rays.
The
The PS4 Pro or the regular PS4. So you wouldn't do that anyway.
45.
It's 45 for Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So it was
Very
right
sick.
underneath the threshold. Well, folks, thank you guys so much for joining us on this live edition of Game Addicts Podcast, episode 97 here on twitch.tv/Game Addicts Play. Every single Wednesday, we're live. Every single Thursday, this podcast goes up in video form on YouTube, and audio versions go up on the audio podcast services around the globe. You can click on any one of those up there in the corner. Apple Podcast, Podbean, Spotify, Stitcher, TuneIn, Google Podcasts, and of course the YouTube button. You can go up, you can see this version over there. Download them, go, love it, subscribe, rate us if you will on Apple Podcasts. It helps us out a lot. Review us, and of course you can join us on social media at Game Addicts Play, over on Instagram, on Twitter, and on Facebook, where you can get the brand new exclusive Facebook live streamed podcast, video podcast.
Yeah.
Game Addicts Plus, going at you almost every single weekend. Stay tuned for that. It should be about noonish on Sundays. I'm going to send out an update, usually, hopefully about an hour before I go live. I'm going to be hanging out. Maybe Mike will show up one of these days and be able to hang out with me.
We might Skype it.
Yeah.
Probably Skype it since I just ordered something new.
Sure, absolutely. And then, by all means, go check us out over there. And then, of course, we play games. I play games right now. He's going to start here soon once he gets that PC built, and we're going to stream games right here on the Twitch channel. I've been working my way through the Metal Gear series. I can now do FF7 again. I got my save back. It's now uploaded to the cloud in case that PS4 breaks again.
I'm glad we got it fixed.
Yep.
I'm glad that it was the power brick.
Yep. And it fires up just fine. It doesn't give me any fight.
Does it still sound like a tornado?
Yeah.
Or a jet engine, I should say.
Oh, yeah. After a while. If it's just sitting there not doing anything, it's fine.
Did you use that micro fan?
I was using it before, but it doesn't help.
Doesn't help?
Nope. Nope.
Yeah, oh well.
Yep. So, until next time, I'm out, man.
Next time.
Hold on. Let me rewind that. Until next time, guys, I've been Brando.
And I have been Mike.
We've been the Game Addicts Podcast. See you later, guys. Game on. Have fun. Have a good one. All that good stuff. Laters. Bye.